Now here's Channel 11's Jonas Cheney with today's Impact.
Hello and welcome to Impact. I'm Jonas Cheney. Joining me, Joyce Bender, founder and CEO of Bender Consulting Services, and Mr. Michael Gandy Jr., motivational speaker and student consultant. And ordinarily you'd look at this situation and say there's nothing wrong here, and there isn't. So Michael has a very interesting, I won't say problem, but he has something called dyslexia. And I was talking to him several times and I kept saying, Michael, I don't know how to ask you, but you're supposed to have a disability. What's your disability? It certainly can't tell from looking at you that there's nothing wrong.
It's considered to be a hidden disability. So from the outside, you know, just normal, just like everybody else. But it was really a struggle for me growing up in school, learning how to read, spell, you know, really the comprehension. And so it was really tough growing up, you know, in grade school, where they only had one way of learning something, where I learned a totally different way, to where I had to sit down and really commit myself and say, I need to learn how to read. This is what I need to do to be successful. So
dyslexia is a brain-based type of, according to Wikipedia, type of learning disability that specifically impairs a person's ability to read. Joyce, now I know that you've dealt with this before in terms of having clients with similar problems, but what do you do about the bullying problem that can affect them throughout their life?
Well, the bullying is really horrible for students or young people with a learning disability, and the reason for that is the moment they step out of class for special tutoring or giving them more time to study something, they are a target for bullying. But Michael and I have started a Bender leadership campaign to stop bullying, because young people with disabilities are one of the most bullied groups in the United States today.
It's almost to the, you know, I remember growing up, I wasn't diagnosed until the end of my second grade year, and I was with all my friends, but I always struggled with taking tests and reading and all that. So after I got diagnosed, at the beginning of my third grade year, I was isolated to a classroom with just, you know, other students who had disabilities. So we were actually like isolated from the general population of our school. So we were easy targets to be made fun of. And I was misdiagnosed, and I was misdiagnosed as, actually, it's so misunderstood that I was misdiagnosed as mentally retarded, which I really wasn't.
My God.
So having that stigma of knowing that your friends are calling you LD kid or you're stupid, and these were my friends from kindergarten to second grade. So just that isolation and knowing that I'm very intelligent, but I learn a different way.
Right.
And
right.
The way I learn, you know, I love the history. I watch the History Channel. I have great conversations with people. I learn a lot with working with people. So to go from, you know, 100 to 0 really fast, and you know who your real friends are, you know, because your friends don't make fun of you. Your friends are there for you no matter what. And my friends and my peers, they knew how intelligent I was, and they knew that I just had a struggle, that I had to learn how to overcome that.
And throughout your life, I'm sure that you found in school, particularly the people who did not make fun of you, who were judging you just as you are. And I'm sure that made a big difference that you could find some people like that in the class.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, because I went from, you know, just an average kid having a lot of friends, but I had one good best friend. His name was Drayvon Carter. He's just my best friend. He was always there for me, no matter what. Since like kindergarten, he was always there. So I think having that one good friend always supporting me, he was one of the ones.
Well, you got another good friend in Joyce.
Yeah. You know. You
could be doing lots of things with people who don't have as many challenges as Michael. What made you decide to get into this challenging field?
I had a life-threatening accident in 1985 that resulted in brain surgery as a result of my living with epilepsy. And I, for a living, was an executive search. And after this, I said, you know what? People with disabilities, they can do these jobs, whether it's finance, IT, but they weren't being hired. And even today, 70% of Americans with disabilities are not part of the workforce, which is shameful. Michael is a great example of that. I always tell people this is my son, Michael. But Michael, when I met him, he was in 10th grade at our Bender Leadership Academy, which on a volunteer basis for the past 12 years, I work with high school students with disabilities about the world of work and how to stand up for bullying, fighting bullying, and getting back your muchness. Michael is an example of someone, a young man, African American, who frequently are forgotten about and could have fallen through the cracks. And here he is, just the most wonderful person, talented, a great role model for other young people living with disabilities, and I'm just thankful that I met Michael.
We have about a minute left in the show. What is your goal, Michael? What would you like to do? Because everybody who's come in contact with you has been extremely impressed.
My goal is just, to really continue my motivational speaking and really, start to write some of my books that I have some ideas, and really just, give a positive light and get students to really articulate themselves, to set their own goals, and to really, stop thinking that this generation that I live in, that we feel as that we're entitled to something, but we're entitled to nothing. Every opportunity that I get, I work really hard for, and I show up and I show out no matter where I go. And you really have to teach our youth that. And of course with Joyce, we also talked about maybe some political offices in the future, and just really learning how to teach people how to capitalize on their opportunities and really work together, bridging the gap between my generation and the generation before me, really paying it forward that we always talk about.
Well, we have information in case you'd like to get a hold of Joyce Bender. We can put that information up on the screen. She's at 3 Penn Center West, Suite 223. Phone 412-787-8567, and that's benderconsult.com. Listen, I wish I had more time to talk to you, but I have a feeling that we'll be hearing from you again.
Oh, for sure. I'll keep moving.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Joyce, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. That's Impact for this week. Take care.